Hello everybody, Dokkan Sets here. Today we are back with another figure news video of the Dragon Ball variety. Today we're going to be covering the last 2 weeks of Dragon Ball figure news. There isn't too much in terms of brand new figures. I believe we technically have maybe like 6 new figures to look at. We got this the next month's new prize figures and a pretty big figure, which you may or may not see at the top there. But what we did get from the figures that we did receive was very big and also very underwhelming. You'll see both on the spectrum. Some that I'm literally over the moon about and some that I'm going to bury in the core of the earth. Regardless though, let's go ahead and start off at dbzfigures.com first as per usual. Of course, taking a look at what we've got here. We had the newest weekly Dragon Ball news go up. This weekly Dragon Ball news covered a couple of things. For one, the new Glitter and Glam's Android 18, which I will be picking up and doing a review on soon enough. This figure as well is also one of the first Android 18s and one of the newer Android 18s where they're not making the proportions ridiculous. I know I say it every video, but I gotta drive it home so Bandai knows that that's not what we want. We want more stuff like this. Just make the character look normal, please. Anyway. Besides that though, talked about the new issue of V-Jump, which I actually have a video on my channel going over the whole thing, the new Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter, the GT Trunks that we actually did get to take a look at the final images of that guy in the last episode, and just a little bit more other Dragon Ball stuff. Not too much from our boy DBZ Figures this last 2 weeks, as you can see, another Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter review. We did get this, which was a very interesting thing. Now, if you've been around to my live streams before, you would know this man, I'm sure, because he appears in not only every single Dokkan live stream, but every single Dragon Ball related live stream that the companies that produce Dragon Ball games and merch and stuff like that do. Of course, we usually call him V-Jump Man, just for simplicity's sake, but his technical name is actually Victory Uchida, as you can see here. And in a new series called Victor Uchida's Room, for the first episode, he interviews Nishizawa, I believe is how you pronounce that, Kyoto from Bandai Spirit's Collector's Division. Basically, he is in charge of the SH Figure Arts line and spends some time talking about his history with Bandai along with his history and current projects. Won't go through translating the whole conversation, but if you understand Japanese, it's a pretty interesting watch. It seems he's very tuned to the collector community and talks about the suggestions he's received. The big reveal here is a prototype of the Frieza Force member Dodoria. The figure is also very wide, Majin Buu size. It's hard to tell next to Frieza and the Saiyans in the video, but it's hard to tell next to them in the video. I see. Immediately afterwards, Uchida mentions the need for another figure next to Frieza along with his transformation, which I hope really sit well. Obviously, that's implying Zarbon, right? Also, they show more details of Frieza's first form and his pod, and I think the figure looks on point. Definitely can't wait to get my pre-order. Hopefully, they come with a alien head for Frieza as well. So, as you can see here, we have both of the videos right here. I'm not going to go through this because obviously I don't want the video to get claimed. But if you would like to take a look at these, of course, the link for them will be in the description below as always. So you can go ahead and take a look at these yourself. I'm trying to find at least the Dodoria. This is, by the way, though, I guess a cool thing to look at because this is, of course, the Goku with the I don't know what the technical name of this is, but like the eating set, right? And this new face. Obviously, we had Bardock release pretty recently, so of course he's going to be a little bit of a star of the show. He looks pretty good. I will be reviewing him at some point as well. The Pod Frieza, which also looks pretty good. I'm trying to find the Dodoria. Ah, there we go. Look at how wide that boy is. Holy cow. Yeah, so I know this is what the whole SH Figure Arts collecting community was going wild about when we saw this get revealed, because obviously Dodoria, I'm sure, is a figure that we never really expected to be joining the SH Figure Arts line here, considering A, well, his size, and B, it's Dodoria, bro. But you could see how big he looks next to all these different characters. This is obviously Raditz, Bardock, the new Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Frieza, also the Imagination Works Goku. So very interesting stuff. I will be excited to see what else they have planned for SH Figure Arts, considering that now that we have the Doria, I feel like that is a big telling sign of some things to come. And not only that, it'll just be interesting to see Dodoria himself and the posability, because from what I can see right here, let's try and go back to a shot where he's a little bit more close up, right? It kind of looks like the only posability that I see is the arms. the legs, and it looks like there'll be a little bit of chest swivel and obviously a little bit of head swivel. But since he is such a big boy, it's going to be hard to get a ton of articulation out of this guy. Though I will say the only thing that I think is kind of a downside of seeing this is seeing how much articulation they gave to Dodoria, because at least in my mind, from owning SH Figuarts figures and following the line for a long time, this is honestly pretty impressive that they managed to cram this much articulation in to a figure like this, of this like proportion. It really makes me sad how they did Ghoul, though, at the end of the day. He really is just, like, a little tiny bit of articulation with some different, like, I guess, just leg and arm poses. So I don't know, because in my mind, if they can make a character like the Dory work, Ghouldo is just, like, a smaller version of the Dory in terms of, like, general body form, you know what I mean? So they're both, like, you know, kind of round boys. They're very pudgy. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, though, to see more of this guy coming up in the future. But definitely go check out these videos if you would like to. I will probably watch them more in my free time. But this was actually some big news that we got in the community, and we will be seeing more pictures of this guy as time goes on. We'll also be taking a look at what we have here. But if you guys are familiar, funny enough, he's actually right here in the Big Bad Toy Store ad. But the Imagination Works Vegeta was announced. Yeah, so let's take a look at what the boys here. This is Shinra talking this time. If you're familiar, it's usually Majin Rob or Shinra who write the articles on this website. But this dropped last night when I was falling asleep, and I had to take a quick look. This looks pretty cool, and we'll definitely be pre-ordering it when it comes out. I know Majin Rob had concerns about the durability of the silicone joints, and some would have liked this figure to be better, but I want to add that if they are going to release at a slower time frame than like other figures, looks like almost 1 or 2 a year, they should have included all the transformations, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, etc. Maybe some different metal armor as well. Pre-orders should be available with a September 2021 release at a price of 11,000 yen, which is about 110 US smackaroonies. Below are some of the pics and a link to the product website. Let me know in the descriptions if you plan on getting this or which character you think would be next. So we do have a link to the actual Tamashii Nation's Imagination Works website here. And I will say right off the bat, this is super exciting, not only from the fact that they are doing more Imagination Works figures, but the fact that there is a huge improvement from Goku over the last time. Funny enough, actually here, we have a picture of them right next to each other, right? Oh, I see. It's just going to be translated. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is a great shot of the figure right there. Yeah, so as you can see here, we have some really up-close shots of this man. My gosh, this is pretty cool. Click here. Yeah, I'll click there, bro. Look at all the little nice little doodads and gadgets they got on this website. Okay, I didn't actually know we were going to get to take a look at this. This is a cool, like, zoom-in of the figure. Obviously, some different information about the figures here. That is also good to know, because somehow I didn't know that about this line, that's why it's so big, is that it's 1/9 scale. Very, very interesting, if I do say so myself. Now, overall general thoughts about looking at this. I like the little smoke effect. That's pretty funny. Overall general thoughts about this. For one, did this open up to a Tamashii Nation's? Oh, I see. So this is a little ad form. Okay, well, I'll include the website in the description below so you can take a look at that. Obviously, I don't want to play the video and then get claimed for it. The big thing that I will say is that I really, really like this figure, actually. I think it is a huge improvement over Goku, and I'll go over more so in a second. The only complaint I actually have with it right now is the face a little bit. I think that the base form one looks really, really good. I think that the Super Saiyan one looks a little bit off, and they both share the same problem, in my opinion, which is a little bit of a too deep V on the eyebrows. I think if they raise them up a just a little bit more, it would be absolutely perfect. But I definitely really, really enjoy the base form head sculpt. I think it captures Vegeta's likeness incredibly well. I think it looks amazing. Even the Super Saiyan one does still look good, but it looks like it's taken from a shot where Vegeta's looking super angry, which, I mean, I guess that's just Vegeta all the time. But it looks like a shot, you know, he's glaring at the enemy, his eyebrows highly raised, rather than more of just like a neutral scowling face. That is just my opinion, though. Definitely let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. But this is one thing that I wanted to discuss that I think is a huge improvement over Goku. As you can see here, and as they highlight in this section of the website, there is actually real cloth on this figure. Thankfully, we do have this image to still look at here for a pretty good comparison between the two figures. What they did with Goku on this one was that they kind of just almost like put cloth over the plastic parts and the parts that made him movable, rather than like making the figure's pants actually out of fabric and then having the joints inside, right? They just kind of layered a fabric over it. But with Vegeta here, you can see that all of the joints, hello sir, are actually housed inside of the fabric. We can actually open this image in a new tab. Oh, that's pretty cool. If you take a look at like his arms and stuff like that here, you can see the joints inside are popping out under the fabric. It's a lot easier to tell that it's actual fabric on the legs here. So as you're actually articulating this figure, the fabric is forming around the joints, which then of course give it the illusion of muscle detail. I think that that is a fantastic way to do this figure, and is a great upgrade on, oh, what was that line called? There was a line for a little while of Dragon Ball figures. It was the Dimension something, and there were like Dragon Ball statues that had clothes on. In my opinion, they didn't really look that good, but I think if this is the way that they're going to go with the Imagination Works line, I am going to be very, very excited to see what they end up doing with this line, because personally, I think this looks really, really cool. Hello, Vegeta. Let's zoom out a little bit so we go back to our regular view here. Let's see what they say about the face, actually. Ooh, that shot of the eyes looks fantastic, if I do say so myself. Reproduce with specifications that combine facial expressions and parts for eye gaze parts. Even with the same facial expression parts, you can enjoy variations of different respected black hair and Super Saiyan blonde. You can create up to 12 different facial expressions by combining 2 types of facial expressions and 3 types of eyes, right? Because the way that these figures work is that you can actually take the eyes out of the faceplate rather than the eyes being a piece of the faceplate to get some more expressions out of the figure. So that is pretty cool with other figures that I've seen to it, and you can't even really tell that when you're looking at the figure. I really like that base form face. Something about it just really, really screams really cool to me, if I do say so myself. But yeah, as you can see here, I think that the figure looks really, really awesome. I really, really enjoy the way that they did this, especially compared to Goku. I am definitely going to be curious to see more IRL pictures of this guy, because of course what we have right now is a lot of production shots, and keep in mind they always try and make the figure look as great as possible. But what we have right now is already a huge improvement over the Imagination Works Goku. Like, I mean, I think even just looking at these two better, even just looking at the legs alone should kind of tell you that this guy is a huge improvement. It almost makes me want an Imagination Works Goku 2.0 to like fix the issues. I think one cool thing too about this is that it does really seem like they took a lot of the issues that people had with the Imagination Works line into consideration and really thought about that when making this new figure. So hopefully it ends up looking as good as the Vegeta does as well. The only other thing that I'll say about this in terms of a positive compared to Goku as well is that with the arms, right, because this is fabric rather than rubber, because Goku's arms are actually rubber. I know it's a little bit hard to tell in this image here. I'm sorry, you probably just heard that truck go by, but these are like squishy. Like if you squish them, they squish a little bit like a stress ball or something like that. Maybe not the best kind of comparison to make, but Vegeta's will just be fabric with hard joints underneath, which I think will make the figure last a little bit longer. The only thing that I am worried about with fabric on figures in this way is if the fabric is going to be durable enough over time. Obviously, since this is a $100 figure, you would hope that the quality of the fabric would be fantastic, but we'll have to see over time with that one. Obviously, that's not something that we can really see right away. Regardless, though, I will leave the links to this website and the Imagination Works if you would like to read all of the specific details of this. But I do really like when they do more stylized websites like this. Also, this face sculpt actually looks pretty good for Super Saiyan, if I do say so myself. It's really cool because it makes it feel, I don't know, A, more premium for the figure, but B, just like a more enthralling experience, I guess, to learn more about the figure. Let's go ahead and pop over to the boy Baggy's Twitter, though, of course, starting us off with the release of the Glitter and Glam's Android 18. Of course, we have the two different color versions of this one, but this is showing the one with the, I guess we'll just call them lighter pants, because as you can see here, this figure has the darker pants. Very good looking Android 18 figure, if I do say so myself. Again, proportions aren't overdone, as I like to see. Good face sculpt, you know, good outfit sculpt. This is obviously one of the various outfits that 18 wears throughout the series, so it's cool to see that we are getting a figure of this, as well as her standard outfit too. We have a couple of figures that are decent that have been released since then. Yeah, very good stuff to see. I'm glad that they didn't butcher her, especially seeing this face close up. Your boy is definitely a fan, because I will say in these pictures it kind of makes her like almost like, where did her eyebrows go, bro? But these pictures I think really sell the face sculpt for me. It looks really, really good. Definitely going to be curious to see more angles too, because as you can see, this feels like a lot different of a face than this one, at least in my opinion. Alright, we also have the full May sticker lineup, so let's go ahead and take a look at this in a little bit more detail here. At the top, we have this very adorable Dragon Ball themed dragon with Goku riding on the Nimbus in the back. He looks so adorable. We have Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Puar in the middle, and then we have Oolong and Bulma at the front. Very, very cool. The peel-off machine as well. We got some Raditz Saga stuff. We got Goku racing back on Snake Way, which is pretty cool. We have some GT themed stuff in here as well. We got some Broly movie stuff. I really, really like the Chilai and the Broly eating the chocolate. I think that one is so cute. Some different Super Saiyans, obviously some Broly movie stuff here, and of course our big boy stickers, which are going to be a little bit more rare. My boy Tien's got a sticker. Let's go. I do really like the way that they're doing the super rares. I don't remember the technical term of the rarity of these, but I think that they are really, really cool. Funny enough, if I had to pick, I almost like Gold Goku and Gold MUI better, but I think I like the regular version of Super Saiyan 4 better, and obviously the special color Gogeta is really, really sick looking. So I'm glad to see that the wafer stickers didn't change up the formula too much in terms of the 2.0 to 3.0 releases, but definitely made some improvements that I think that make the stickers look really cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to this release. I would love a place where I could be able to just pick these up constantly, because even though Ami does have them, the shipping on their website is a little bit pricey sometimes. And here is a all-around view of that Glitter and Glamour's 18. Unfortunately, I can't open this in a new tab. I wish I could. I mean, I guess if I do, hold up, if I do this, will this work? No, it just goes to the tweet. Okay. Regardless, though, very, very nice looking figure, if I do say so myself. I think they captured her likeness very well. I will say the bend of the body does look a little bit unnatural. She's almost kind of doing a little bit of a thriller lean a little bit. Like the curve on her back almost looks like her spine is snapped. I mean, I guess she's an android, so it's like, I don't know, does she have bones or are they mechanical? I don't know. Nonetheless, though, still, again, a very, very good looking Android 18 figure. Back in the thick and thin of it, though, we do have a cleaner look at the new logo. This is the 3.0 logo of these stickers, and seeing this in HD also looks really, really cool. The only unfortunate thing for me with the 3.0 change is that I am a vanilla guy. I don't like chocolate personally, so it is a little bit unfortunate to see that they changed it to chocolate, but I know Japanese fans have been asking them to change it to chocolate wafers for so long, so obviously, you know, it's not a big deal for me. You buy it for the stickers, but anyway. As you can see here, 2.0 versus 3.0, looks like some stickers will have actual background art, but not all. So you can see here, Baggy's kind of making the comparison with some of the different characters here, right? We have Vegeta doing this specific pose, and we have a Super Saiyan 1 Gohan, right? We have Vegeta doing the exact same pose where he has a little bit more of a detailed background with the text, and Gohan, of course, doing this blast with a little bit more of a background too, and kind of comparing the Chilai and Broly being separate cards with the background of the ship. Whereas here it's just, technically, I guess the background is Vampa, but it's like more so just, you know, not really a background as much. So yeah, pretty cool comparison. I think this is actually a pretty decent one showing the difference. Again, like I said, not too big of a change from the different versions of these stickers, but definitely a big enough change, I think, for it to be like, Nice. We do have the packaging for the GT Trunks. Again, I probably won't be picking up this figure. I'm not really that big of a fan of GT Trunks and the different colored versions of the Android 18. Again, I definitely prefer the one on the left. I don't think the one on the right actually came in the anime. I'm pretty sure it was just, you know, like it's there to be an alternate, like, color version of the figure, which, like, you know, I can... you know, kind of understand that why not just make another color version, because people will buy them, right? Also, another note from Baggy here, JoJo Supermaster Stars piece is also releasing in Asia, so it looks like factories are back to normal, which is great to hear that things are finally starting to return to normal again. Yes, so this was very interesting. So I'm sure some of you guys saw this from a couple of videos ago. This is the high grade Perfect Cell set. This was the set that captured all of Cell's various different forms, literally everything from the larval state to him going boom boom versus Bye Guys Goku. And this was just some IRL pictures of it from a Japanese Twitter user. We also have the actual brown box here from Big Boy Bandai, but this is on the side here, and very interesting. I don't know how to feel about this packaging. For one, it's just weird from, like, thinking about it in any logical way. They stored all of the figures. That's funny. They stored all of the figures inside Cell? Like, inside the bottom half of his exploding body. And here you can see everything out of the box. Obviously, they're in different pieces because with, you know, this line of figures, of course, you're supposed to put them together. It makes me kind of question the material of the orange half of Cell because it looks like super cheap, in my opinion. I don't know. In all honesty, obviously, it's a little bit hard to get a good look at the details here because, of course, even though we do have the image of the box right here, with, like, you know, all the different figures on it, of course, seeing it in person is a little bit different than seeing it, you know, like on a piece of promotional art. I didn't even notice they even have the egg that Gohan and Trunks and Bulma find. That's pretty cool. I don't know, like, me personally, funny enough, I would almost want a figure of, like, the larval Cell. Also, hello, motorcycle. And this Cell, like the exploding one. I don't really care about the rest of this because I'd rather get, like, a normal size figure. But I do think those two look pretty good because usually the high grade line tends to be a little bit stinky nowadays despite the price. But I do agree with Baggy that, I don't know. I feel like if this was a really as premium as they say, they wouldn't have put it in his stomach. Like, I know that sounds like maybe a little bit of a nitpick, but they literally just put it in individual plastic bags in his stomach. I don't know. Little bit sus, if you ask me, if I do say so myself. Baggy was just reminiscing about some older Dragon Ball figures as well. Some older Dragon Ball minifigures based off of that piece of art. Yes, so this was also something that was awesome. If you did not see this, I did tweet this out, by the way. I have another Twitter account. I'll link it in the description because I don't think I've actually linked it for these figure news videos. But I have a Twitter account. Actually, I guess I could just put it up right here, which is my DB Figure Deals account. This account is where I tweet out Dragon Ball sales. I do it very occasionally because it's an account that I use a little bit more casually than my other accounts. But also, when new Ichiban Kuji sets drop on Amazon, I always make a big tweet and then pin it to my profile. So that is on the profile as well right now. I'll leave a link in the description of that if you want to get these for the pre-order. But yes, very excited that these guys ended up going up for pre-order on Amazon. Unfortunately, I know he's not here, but the Cybermen is still $35 for the single Cybermen, which is really unfortunate. I think Baggy did the math at some point. I believe it was in a past video, but, like, if you want to recreate the scene with, like, the 5 Cybermen or whatever that it was, where, like, Goku and, or where, sorry, Vegeta and Nappa were, like, facing off against the Z Fighters, I think it's, like, I don't know, well over, like, 180 or something, including Vegeta and Nappa. It's kind of ridiculous. I hope that I can get one of those Cybermen because they are pretty cool, but definitely not for $35. It's $35. I almost said ballers. $35. I will not be paying for that. Also, looks like the May wafer stickers are limited to 1 per person on Ami, given the rise of popularity, not surprising lately. Yeah, kind of makes sense considering that a lot of people are getting into them nowadays. I'm not going to go into this too crazily, but here's some My Hero stuff. I mean, I figure I might as well show it in there just because. Oh yeah, see, funny enough, I actually tweeted. Here's an example of a tweet from this account. Very cool. Yeah, so all the figures are actually live on there now. All right, so let's see. We do have a HQ look at some of these stickers from V-Jump. Funny enough, I feel bad. This person might have come from my account. But nonetheless, yes, if you are one of my Dokkan players and you're watching this series for the first time, this is actually what the Baton Battle cards are based off of, is these wafer stickers, which is pretty cool. New candy product, more Dragon Ball Heroes card gummy in August. Pics are from the previous release. Cool. It's always nice to see them releasing these packs, even though these cards tend to be not as like crazy looking as some of the rare cards do from actual Dragon Ball Heroes. It's still cool to see them nonetheless. We also have these. So this was funny enough. Usually I see most of the things that Baggy tweets during the week because I have notifications on for my man. And obviously I like to keep up to date with what he's tweeting, so that way when I tackle the figure news video for the past 2 weeks, then that way I can have a better idea of what I'm looking at. But this was actually something that I didn't see at all. As you can see, high quality images of the fig pins from GT. Very, very interesting. It has the original Japanese logo too. I don't know how I feel about these. Fig pins are a little bit of an interesting beast. Funny enough, I think out of all those, Baby actually looks the best. Those are all the commons though, and these are actually the rares. A Majub and an Android 17. I think 17 looks pretty good. Maybe his head extends out a little bit too far there, but I think he does look pretty cool. And honestly, I might even pick that one up. I don't know. There's just something kind of charming about it. How high is your belt, sir? Holy cow. That's funny. But yeah, regardless, this is what they're doing for the upcoming fig pin set. Why GT? I don't know. Because I feel like this wouldn't sell as well. I mean, it's cool. I think that Goku looks pretty alright. But I definitely think I've seen not only this artwork of Vegeta before. I don't think I've seen this one of Gogeta. But they look kind of like, I don't know, weird? Gogeta looks very static in his pose as well, even though I think that's supposed to be more of a dynamic pose. But yeah, funny enough, I think Baby and then Ubin 17 look the best. But nonetheless, very interesting. Definitely let me know in the comments as well if you pick up fig pins. I own a couple of them, and I do like the ones that I own, but they're just a very interesting piece of collectible merch that we've gotten in recent time. Alright, also, yes, here IRL pictures of the new ones. Here we go. So this is actually the tweet that I was looking for from Baggy. So we now have the Ichiban show that one Cyberman costs $36, and it will indeed cost $288 to recreate this scene, not counting any shipping. Should have been a pair for $36. Hard to justify spending even that much on one of these. Yeah. Also, why is this picture so, like, weird in terms of the way that they're posed? Why would they not be, like, 3 here and then 3 here, but like the middle ones are like in front of Goku and Vegeta rather than doing it this way? That's kind of odd. But $288 to recreate this scene, bro? Are you kidding me? Maybe if I'm rich someday, I'd be willing to do that. But definitely not at the current financial status, bro. That is a little bit ridiculous. I mean, even 36 for one, let alone trying to recreate this entire scene. I will say it might be worth it if you were going to create some type of diorama where like you were specifically and meticulously making the scene from the anime and like the landscape where Vegeta and Nappa, you know, were about to fight the Z fighters with the Cybermen. But still, 288 is ludicrous, if I do say so myself. Oh yeah, unfortunately this end didn't end up coming out for overseas. F in the chat for our boys here. Alright, so we have a little bit more information about FES here. 15 FES volumes, 2 Super Saiyan, 2 base, now Super Saiyan 4, not a single Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Feels bad, man. Are we ever going to get a Battle Damage Super Saiyan 2 figure? He was in the Tournament of Power and the Majin Vegeta saga. Yeah, hopefully we do eventually. I mean, I guess really the only Super Saiyan 2 figure that's still out that I think is probably the best one, and definitely my favorite, if anything, is the Dokkan one. I'm not just saying that because it's Dokkan. It's genuinely so good. You guys remember how much I absolutely decimated the Vegito figure. Yeah, so this was pretty cool, and we will actually get to see these figures in person. Both of these outfits are featured in the upcoming September WCF lineup for extra style. Still waiting on Japanese May specific dates. Other prize figure companies have sent their dates out, so probably tomorrow. Yeah, so this was the little bit of a teaser that we got for the September prize figures. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, a Super Saiyan Gogeta, Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan 4 FES, Burning Fighter. So let's actually take a look at it here, because if we scroll up just like literally 2 tweets, we'll have it in a second here. Interesting to see. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to make sure I covered, because this was also very interesting to me personally. Be interesting to see what the overseas re-release for September will be. Currently 3 ROS left to re-release, but I doubt Trunks will be re-released due to the August Solid Edgeworks Trunks. Dramatic Showcase, I believe, is the only Super Saiyan 2 Gohan prize figure left to be re-released. Yes, this Dramatic Showcase. He was also saying it's just like, in terms of Trunks not coming out at the same time, it would make sense if they didn't do him next because of the other one. But I did note that in 2019, we had 2 basically the same pose Big Bang Kamehameha Gogeta figures come out at the same time. So, I mean, Bandai do be wild in with that type of stuff. Again, we will see the figures in a second here, so I'm not going to cover the, speculation. This was also something very cool to see here, and funny enough, actually also sad, because the confirmation did come through for the re-release for Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the FES one. Obviously, this figure is super sought after in the collector community, and I mean, bro, it's Super Saiyan 3 Goku. How could you go wrong with that? Y'all know that I love my Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and unfortunately, this guy actually was not a premium Bandai release. At least as far as I remember, because I didn't see it go up there. I will actually double check for you, but it did go up on Big Bad Toy Store, and I was actually, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised to see, but the figure actually sold out. Yeah, it was, it's unfortunately not on premium Bandai here. They didn't put up a pre-order for it, but on Big Bad Toy Store, they did actually have the pre-order go up for it. And the pre-order has already sold out. I don't know if we could find it because obviously since Super Saiyan 3, since it's already sold out, I don't know if they're going to show it on here. Yeah, these are very Super Saiyan 3 figures. Yeah, because it's already sold out, unfortunately, they don't show it on here, I believe. But just take my word for it. Oh, no, here we go. Yeah, as you can see, sold out. And keep in mind, I checked this literally like the day after the re-release got announced, which should tell you how insane of a release this guy is for him to be re-released and how much people really want him. I will say it is pretty cool that this guy is only 60 bucks. I know that that might sound like a lot, but keep in mind that modern day SH Figuarts figures have been going for around 80 recently, so this is definitely not a bad price for this guy. I am going to do my very best to try and pick this guy up. I have not seen him go up on Amazon yet, and typically they don't go up on Amazon. If I see it though, I will definitely tweet about it on that other account, but definitely going to try and pick this guy up because you all know how much I love my Super Saiyan 3. Anyway, regardless, even though it did sell out very quickly, it's still awesome to see that they're re-releasing him regardless of whatever status he's currently in. Alright, so we actually do have the pictures for the September prize figures. First of all, we have here the WCF Extra Costume Set, and if I do say so myself, this has got to be one of the best WCF sets that I've ever seen, not just in modern time, but in the history of WCF. A lot of the older WCF sets, I feel like, really knock it out of the park, and this one is very reminiscent of a lot of those very iconic old WCF sets, at least in my opinion. I think that this is such a unique set. I literally had to take a drink of water because of how excited I'm getting. Wow, look at the outfit choices for this. So not only my favorite outfit for Goku in the history of Goku, the Cell Saga outfit, we also have Gohan and Goku looking at each other, which is so cute. And Gohan in this outfit as well, which I believe is right when they come back from the hyperbolic time chamber and they return home in the Cell games. He's in this outfit. Of course, we literally never get this outfit for Gohan in anything, so it's awesome to see as well. We do have our boy Goku in the Saiyan armor, which is also another figure that I don't think I've actually ever seen before, especially in a large, like, you know, setting. But either way, awesome that he's in this set too. We also have this super cool duo here where we have Vegeta and Trunks. Obviously, this is when Trunks is returning to the future after the Cell games, and Vegeta and Trunks give each other that little hand sign. Such a cool moment. Obviously, Trunks, even though he's in his standard gi, still a super cool pose for him, and Vegeta in that more casual wear is also another figure that we've never seen before. And even so, this is also a cool figure, even though we just got the Legends Super Saiyan Yardrat Goku. Of course, now we have Goku in the base form Yardrat outfit, which looks really, really cool. I believe this is like right before he steals Roshi's glasses with the instant transmission, if memory serves. But these look really, really good, if I do say so myself. I am really, really hoping that these, figures end up staying this way. Look at the detail as well on Trunks' cut and on Gohan's cut on the back of their hair. So cool, but I'm really, really hoping that they end up staying looking this good, because unfortunately recently, and we'll see this again with an upcoming FES set in this episode, which was the Turn into Power one, sometimes the final versions of this end up coming out kind of stinky. So I am praying with all of my being that this set ends up staying as good as it looks, because I already pre-ordered it. It looks amazing. I can't deny it. This is something that I need to have. Like, there's some Dragon Ball figures that'll come out, and I'm kind of on the fence if I want to buy them or not. But this is one that as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to find a pre-order for this right now. As well, we do also have the next FES set released. So this one I know is probably going to be a little bit of a weird one for everybody at home. Because, of course, for one, we have a brand new... I'm trying to go to this image. There we go. We have a brand new Super Saiyan 4 Goku. How do I feel about this figure? Not good. I mean, the sculpting on the fur looks pretty decent. The pants look alright. But the face looks really ugly, in my opinion. It looks a little bit bootleggy. And not to mention, the pose is just so nonsensical. Like, what am I looking at here? Like, this would make sense if he was blasting up, if his feet were maybe planted on the ground more, but like in the air, I guess is what this pose is supposed to be. It just looks so awkward. I really, really don't like it. And moving over to the problem child on the side here, what am I looking at here? As you guys remember, the last couple of videos we've been taking a look at images of the new FES Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta from Dragon Ball Super Broly, which was based off of that one very, very beautiful piece of art from that V-Jump cover. And then Dragon Ball Super movie, or Dragon Ball Super Broly movie was like, you know, still airing and all the hype was surrounding it. And they decided to make a Fusion Reborn recolor of the figure. What? Huh? This is the most nonsensical recolor that I think I've ever seen in my history of collecting figures. Like, normally when it comes to these type of things, I mean, like, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool to see, you know, like the different variation in Gogeta, but this just makes no sense because this iconography in terms of the posing for Gogeta makes no sense. And like, no halo? Because obviously the first one was Gogeta from the Broly movie, and they're... What? It is such a weird choice for a figure. This, I would recommend for anybody who collects figures to skip this set. I will be not getting either of these. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to keep the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, because I still want to get it, but like... Very, very mind-boggling choice for a set here. And if we move on to our next figure, this is our, what I was sort of referring to as our tippy top in the beginning of this video in terms of figures, the GX Materia Yamcha. Oh my gosh, this figure looks amazing. Not only does this capture Yamcha's likeness super, super well, perfect Yamcha figure, the Wolfang fist effect looks amazing. It looks so good. Look at the sculpting and the detail on that, the little individual ridges, the little purple translucent touch, it looks so cool. It'd be really interesting as well to see how this actually like attaches to his skull, because obviously this is in like kind of a weird looking place from the back, but of course like looking at it from the front, it really does give that illusion that like the, you know, in the animation that like shows Yamcha doing the wolf fang fist, of course like the whoa, you know, and then like the wolf kind of appearing behind him, right, looks awesome. And it kind of gives off that effect that like the wolf is there in a sort of energy sense, even though like Yamcha doesn't really like actually make a wolf with his ki, right? It just like looks so good. It looks so good. Of course, the GX Materia line is sculpted by the absolute GOAT of Dragon Ball figures, Varroque. I love Varroque's work. I don't think I've seen a single Varroque figure that I've been like yucky. And if it is the case on that, then it's usually Bandai's fault. But man, this is such a good looking figure. I cannot wait to pick this one up. I gotta say, I think the GX Materia line is one of my favorite Dragon Ball figure lines in recent history, and genuinely just such a nice breath of fresh air for Dragon Ball collectors like myself. Very nice looking figure. I cannot wait to see how this guy ends up turning out in person. And finally, yeah. What do I say about this? So, we saw last month that we were getting Burning Fighters Super Saiyan Goku. This is the most basic Goku figure that I think that I have ever seen in my entire life. This isn't a bad figure by any stretch of the imagination. It looks fine, but it's just very mediocre, I think is the best way to describe it. It is the most mediocre figure that I think I've ever seen, because like that's the thing, right? With figures like the Rasuden line, right? Those figures are just bad. Like they're just really bad, right? And figures like even just, you know, GX Materia Yamcha that we were looking at 2 seconds ago, really good, really unique character, unique pose, you know, unique effects on the figure. But like it's just Goku standing there, bro. It's just mediocrity at its finest. No one is going to buy this. And here's the thing, right? I'm not even saying that this is a bad looking figure, because it isn't. It's a good looking figure, but the detail is just very basic. It's just a basic pose. It's just Goku sitting there, bro. And there's so many great options for Super Saiyan Goku figures at this point that why would you buy this? Now, there is a very interesting tweet about this figure a little bit later that we will take a look at, but nonetheless, still, like, I don't know how to feel about this man. Also, I will say his eyes do look a little bit lopsided. It almost kind of looks like they were half going for the look of, like, him cocking his eye to the side a little bit, but they didn't commit to it, so it'll be also interesting to see how that looks on the final figure. But yeah, I don't really know how to feel about Burning Fighters, but the rest looks amazing. Burning Fighters is 16 centimeters. Yeah, wow. I'm kind of baffled. Funny enough, yeah, that's just about my thoughts if I do say so myself, and I definitely agree with Baggy on that one. 100%. Here's this Bakugo, by the way. Looks really cool, actually. I love the detailing on the Manga Dimensions one. Yeah, still such a weird choice, though, if I do say so myself. Here's some high-quality production images. Obviously, I won't go through these too, like, heavily, because, of course, we just looked at them in detail for a little bit, though. But, of course, if you want to check them out, they are on Baggy's Twitter. Still, such a weird pose. Oh, that's a little bit of a conspiracy, if I do say so myself. Literally the same leg pose, just moving the arms up. This is actually a pretty good Gogeta figure in person, I will say. It looks a lot better, excuse me, than the production images like to lead on, but so weird, bro. Yeah, I definitely agree that this is one of the best with this set. I actually have 2 figures from this set. I would love to complete it at some point, but definitely really cool. These guys also got confirmed for an overseas re-release, which is really weird, I will say, from the concept of, like, I feel like they just got released. I know that they got released like a year or 2 ago now, which feels so weird because it feels like they haven't been out that long. but they're such a recent figure to re-release. I mean, I guess I get it because they're popular, and the GX Materia line is one of the best Dragon Ball figure lines we've had in a while, but still just feels like kind of weird, you know what I mean? This is also an interesting tweet here. Now the GX Materia line is releasing a year or so later. Gohan will evidently is still popular. Such a shame for the planning of new prize figures overall has been terrible for Dragon Ball. Yeah, it is very unfortunate. I mean, it's cool that these figures are getting re-released in terms of, you know, like the fact that people can get them again, especially in the terms of this figure, right? Because not only was he successful, but he is also just a solid figure in his own right. And it's cool that people that didn't have a chance to get him the first time can now get him. But, like, this figure is so new that, like, I don't really think it needs a re-release. I mean, I've even seen this in stores near me that sell prize figures and stuff like that still on the shelf. And it, you know, is just from the first release. So, I don't know. Seems like a very odd thing, but what Baggy's trying to get at here is, like, the fact that they have to re-release a figure that's so new is just kind of, like, baffling, I guess. All right. Moving on up here, yes, this set actually did go up on Big Bad Toy Store for 45 bucks. And then when Big Bad Toy Store saw that it was doing well, they actually bumped it up to 53, which is a little bit stinky, I will admit. But I did actually go ahead and pick up the set for this increased price, even though it is kind of a little bit unfortunate that they obviously did that. I need the set, bro. Alrighty. So, yes, here is Baggy's tweet about this. So dumb they can't add the halo because it's the Broly movie design with no widow's peak and puffy vest, but still recovered to a movie 9 Gogeta colors. Yeah, very, very goofy in terms of the decision here. Like, they could have just made it a Super Saiyan version of the Broly movie one, which I know really wouldn't be that big of a difference, but still, like, huh? Yeah, exactly like this. The Sudan recolor was the best way to go about it. The FES recolor makes no sense and looks super dumb. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Maybe somebody will, like, make a custom halo for that. I mean, I don't think this figure's worth even making a custom of, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, this was Baggy tweeting about the price increase, which is when I saw it, unfortunately. So here is what I also wanted to talk about with this Burning Fighters figure. So some of you may recognize this older piece of Dragon Ball art here. Bingus Bongo, what a fantastic name, made a good point that they could be an attempt to match this illustration like they did with the old WCF set did with the new BF line. So as you can see, right, this Goku obviously matches up with the pose of this Goku here. Makes sense, I guess, too, why the eyes look a little bit cocked to the side, considering that they kind of look like that in this piece of art. Personally, I think we're past something like this. Absolute Perfection a few years ago also had a few gimmicks. So yeah, basically, Baggy's just saying that we already technically got a line that mimics this style, right? With this one, right? This piece of art, even though it's obviously not the same outfits for the characters, is literally this WCF set. And Absolute Perfection was probably like, even though I don't own this set, I would still like to own it someday because I definitely think it's a solid, like, quote-unquote gimmick line. It is something to spice up what would otherwise be pretty basic figures, right? This is just a Goku doing a Kamehameha, Vegeta doing a Big Bang attack, and I will say Trunks' pose is a little bit more unique, if anything. It's also just because there's less Trunks figures, but they made it unique with the really cool base and the effects, right? Which I will say, it is kind of a shame that a bunch of rocks on a base makes a figure unique like this. Like, it should just kind of be a standard. Obviously, not all of them have to have it, but the effects, I will say, are really, really cool. And obviously, the gimmick of the stands actually combining, that's what we're looking at here. It's not just these figures, like, all separate, just kind of pushed together. It's cool, right? It's really, really cool that they did something like this. But Baggy's just saying, if they were going to do something like this, where they give these very basic figures outside of the context of this piece of art, they should do something like that. And I do agree with him here as well, that it is kind of weird that out of every single illustration to commercialize, they're going to pick this one. And the real unfortunate thing is, like, you know, they're not going to give Trunks this particular outfit and this color scheme, right? And Vegeta, these little more of, like, purple-esque colors. Like, I would be a lot more okay with this if they advertise the figure as being a piece of this art and then telling us that we were going to get figures that looked like this. And even like for Goku, even though it is a basic figure, having him look up at the viewer and also maybe giving a little bit of orange shading on the side, because here it's just bland, right? And it's not even the proper orange to match the image. It's not this light orange gi, it's just the dark orange that would maybe be like what the color they would use for the shading. So I don't know, very unfortunate to see that, but I guess it is what it is. GX Materia re-releases exactly 2 years after its original release in Japan and Asia. However, it's a massive missed opportunity not to re-release the Kaioken version. It's never been released overseas, especially since re-release has a brand new production codes. Yeah, I hope that I can actually get this figure someday, because I think that this is really cool. And like, when I'm supporting Dragon Ball figures nowadays, I only like to get figures that I think are unique and good and not like more generic garbage, you know? And if I am going to get the generic garbage, I'm going to get it like secondhand, you know, from Joe Schmo, so that Bandai ain't getting any money. But this would be a really cool one, because this is a great way to do recolors, right? Like sometimes recolors are kind of stupid, but this is a good recolor, in my opinion anyway. I like it a lot. Definitely very, very cool. Alright, so another very interesting thing about this production image here, this is a high quality version of this. You can see that apparently the production image was actually taken just a month ago. So that is pretty interesting, if I do say so myself, on a Nikon D5 camera. So this is the Yamcha official description, obviously considering that it's just Google Translate, it's going to be a little bit wonky, but a figure that reproduces Yamcha's special move, Wolf Fang Fist, using lame. That's funny that it means lame, obviously that's not what it actually says. Using, I don't know what that actually would be though, and clear parts. It is a powerful product with a volume that comes with a built-in wolf effect, and Yamcha is really made into a figure. Funny that they actually note that part, that Yamcha is really made into a figure. That should tell you something right there. But yeah, obviously that's just the Google Translate. Funny enough, this is the like least lame figure out of the whole bunch of the September prize figures, which I think is ironic. I didn't post them, but here are the high quality production images of the BF Volume 1 Goku for the 2 people that are probably interested. Yeah. Not even going to click on them, bro. Not even going to give it the time of day. Japanese release weeks for September, well, kinda. Basically, just giving a basic idea here, because obviously we don't know the information completely yet. And these also look like they're going to be maybe BSS, which, if you're unaware, is Bam Presto Special Selection. They've been doing that a little bit. There we go. March 2D Grandista Vegeta release out now for Asia, and the Maximalic Trash Goku packaging. Image credit to Mayax Toys. I'm glad that even though the Grandista line has unfortunately moved on past the clear window packaging, it is still very cool to see that, at least for the re-release, they're sort of honoring the original figure by giving it the clear packaging. And then we have Stinky Goku here, which I'm not even going to talk about too much, because y'all have heard my thoughts on that figure before many a times in these videos. Oh yeah. Let's hear Baggy's thoughts on this one. Guess I'll give my thoughts on Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's okay if the face seems a little bit weird to me. I just don't see how this justifies being ahead of Super Saiyan 2, although most people are over Super Saiyan 4 figures now. Yeah. And the other thing is, too, like, even though it's cool that we're still getting Super Saiyan 4 figures, if you want a Super Saiyan 4 figure, there are so many better options for you. Like, I could tell you 3 Super Saiyan 4 Goku figures literally off the top of my head that would be better than this guy, right? It's just such a shame that this is what they choose to make, you know what I mean? Alright, releasing mid-July in Japan, DB phone accessories. Speakers weigh 100 grams and will apparently last between 5 and 6 hours. This is a speaker? Glass wireless speaker. I wonder where the actual speaker is. Wireless charger. Okay, so those are pop sockets. Oh, and those are phone cases. I mean, I don't know, bro. That one's pretty basic, but I actually really like that Dragon Ball case. I don't have an iPhone, but still. That's a cool idea for a speaker, though. Nice. I like that a lot, actually. I'd be interested to see the sound quality in that. Yeah, so Dokkan Ichiban show confirmed to release this month for the US. Ooh, your boy is going to be very, very excited about that. Shout out to the host for propping up Super Saiyan Goku. I will take a look at that. Oh, yeah, I guess we could look at this in here. Oh, this is from Bluefin. I forgot that Bluefin has an official YouTube channel. You can take a look at this in the description below, because we're not going to take too much time to look at it here, considering the fact that, well, we have seen these figures in person before. But Gohan, still kind of looking a little bit iffy. My opinion on him hasn't really changed. B-Pen still looks really, really good. Goku Black, I think, still looks a tiny bit goofy, but he still looks good. Trunks also kind of like, Still good, but meh. And obviously, God Goku is definitely like the highlight of this set, if I do say so myself. Very, very cool. Ooh, I like that they give him a little spinny. But yeah, definitely take a look at this video in the description below if you are interested. Of course, I can't really play the whole thing because, you know, then your boy will be getting hit with copyright strikes left and right. 2D Super Master Stars Piece Goku now releasing for Europe. I am actually going to be getting this guy at some point. I have him pre-ordered somewhere, so definitely keep an eye out for that because this is a classic figure, and I'm so glad that this guy ended up getting re-released. Correction, my bad. I misunderstood the release date for September Kuji. It's still tentative. I missed this Japanese character right here. Deleted the previous post to stop any misinformation. Yeah. Originally, Baggy tweeted out a post that was like the date for this, but it ended up being wrong, so he just fixed it. I remember seeing that tweet. Alright, so... Oh, interesting that they wiped out the Deku figure like that. Alright, so here are the heights for these figures. We are looking here, 16 centimeters. I believe they're saying with the Wolfang Fist 19 there. I think is what that's saying. Interesting that they do the dimensions like that. What does that say? 18? Yeah, 18 by 12 by 9. And then we have 20 by 15 by 10. That would be for Gogeta. And then we have 16. Oh, Super Saiyan. I see. 16 for Goku and 20 for Gogeta. Interesting. Moving on up here. Maximum coloring tech. Big prize figures made from lazy recycling and poor attention to detail. Also known as Fax Bag Trash. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do kind of like the hair color. But again, this pose is just so stupid. Alright, so... Versus 17 releases 5th week of May in Japan. I hope we get to see some IRL pictures of this. I definitely think that these three are probably the best because Broly's pose is just so goofy, bro, if I do say so myself. So FES14 Gogeta will be getting a new head sculpt, presumably to match with old Gogeta's design. However, this vest is still Nagita. I believe that's the animator for the specific Gogeta like art style that he's talking about. Puffy, so seems kind of pointless. Like, yeah, because what he's saying is that original Gogeta's vest wasn't really puffy like this, and this is more of a Broly movie Gogeta thing. So apparently, this figure is going to be getting a new head sculpt, and it's not going to be this. Apparently, it's going to be something else. So it'll be interesting to see if that ends up getting a halo or not. It'll be really funny if it doesn't. Also, like, bad funny, but it'll also be kind of funny if I do say so myself. But I guess they just showed this figure with the prize figures with this particular head sculpt just so that they could show it. It's still weird that they wouldn't just like put the new head on there. I don't know. It'll also be very unfortunate if the new head is literally just this with the halo. I hope they actually change up the expression a little bit. Alrighty, so as you can see here, DBS BOS Volume 6 WCF Japan release date is May 13th. We did actually get to see some IRL pics of these guys in a little bit. Dates confirmed. Rest of the Japanese dates for 2 FES same day. Solid Edgeworks May 27th. We will actually get to see that Goku as well, which is pretty exciting. Very, very cool as well. That, as you can see for August, Dragon Ball Super Warrior Capsule Figure 06, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito, Super Saiyan Vegito Figure Original Color, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku Kaioken, and Chi-Chi. Very, very weird lineup that they would include Chi-Chi in there. But still, pretty cool that Chi-Chi is going to be getting in there. I hope that even though it's obviously going to be a minifigure, it still ends up looking pretty good because I don't have any Chi-Chi figures, and I would actually be down to get that. Alright, so we do actually have some bigger and a better quality pictures of the Edgeworks Vegeta. I'm not going to go through them too heavily because obviously we already took a look at most of these pictures. But my man definitely agrees with me here that this guy looks heaps better than the Goku, if I do say so myself. I am definitely going to be posing this guy, though, in the base form one. Also, looking at the head at this angle, I feel like the eyebrows don't look as bad as they did on... let's go back to DBZ figures right here. The original head sculpt that's, like, right here for some reason. Maybe it's just the specific image. Hello, Vegeta. Very close up. Maybe it's just the specific image, but it's, like... I feel like it has a little bit of a different angle? I don't know. I mean, obviously this one does, but nonetheless, yeah, I definitely like the base form one, though, a lot, for sure, 100%. But it looks good. I'm very, very excited to eventually get my hands on it. Interesting, we got more of a front angle on for Takamatsu's Solid Edgeworks Goku. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting way to change up the production image. Yeah, again, like, I've also given my thoughts on this one before. I like this figure a lot, and I think that it's a really cool pose for Goku, but it's just another Super Saiyan in base form Goku, even though it looks really, really good. Samurai Goku release overseas was definitely much needed. Yeah, so this is just talking about a bunch of different figures that are available to purchase here. And as you can see, this is the original Samurai Goku. You can see he's selling for about 40 bucks compared to the rest of these figures, which this is only 700 yen, which is like 7 bucks. This one's like 15 bucks for Gohan. And then the Glitter and Glams Android 18 with the ridiculous proportions is about 7 smackaroonies. So I'm glad that this guy did get an overseas release, and I'm very excited to own that figure too. Here is all 4 of the production images. Again, we saw most of these already, but I believe the only one that we didn't see was this angle right here. Yeah, looks good, if I do say so myself. Given how overseas releases usually foreshadow something, and given September already has a new GX Materia Yamcha, wonder if this is perhaps foreshadowing of an upcoming father-son Kamehameha figure. That would be really, really cool. I would definitely be down for that. I definitely agree, too, that a GX Materia Perfect Cell would also be pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what they would do for him that wouldn't just be a Kamehameha, but, I mean, it would still be cool to see, definitely. And I also need a Cell figure. The final production images here have updated bright colors with these finals, though. Don't know what the actuals will be like. Hopefully it's like this and not like the muted original production images, which look like these, right? You can see the difference between them actually here comparatively. It's funny, too, because I remember commenting on these that it kind of just looks like they corrected them like color correction in Photoshop. Alright, reminder, since no Volume 1 at the end is likely going to be a one-off WCF release, which is very unfortunate. But Baggy did note here, this could, Kimitsetsu, I believe is how you pronounce it. WCF didn't have a 1 at the end and got a second release, so maybe Extra Costume does have a chance to get another. These are very cute Nezuko figures. I like that one a lot. That's funny. Alrighty. September deadline for distributors is apparently May 20th, which means if no prize fair next month, then the earliest October prize will be revealed is May 21st. If prize fair goes ahead, May 19th, currently planned for the Kanto region, not the Pokemon one, the real Kanto region, only but likely will be canceled as I suspect. Just realized that the EC, this is the extra costume, by the way, is what he's just going to be calling it, WCF Goku were the top 3 voted on the last Goku Day. Definitely not a coincidence. Yes, going to post about this WCF set as much as possible, yeah. So if you guys remember, Dragon Ball fans did vote for their favorite outfit of Goku. This is why we ended up getting this Goku as an Ichiban Kuji figure. But as you can see, the 2nd and 3rd place were Goku in the Saiyan armor and Goku in the Yardra outfit, so it makes sense why we ended up getting those figures in this set. Definitely not a coincidence. My man was goofing a little bit about this part right here. High quality sculpture, coloring, texture, yeah, all that shenanigans, my dude. Oh, and of course, yeah, Vegeta. How do I even pronounce that? I mean, I guess it is still Vegeta, but this is spelled like Vegeta. Huh. Weird. I don't know how to feel about that. Anyhow, May Sega Game Station store number is so weird. QP Lunch 161, Solid Edgeworks Goku 115, WCF 138, FES 10, and Rasuden 2. Launch means 3 monthly wins in a row for female characters. Let's go! Fusions are no longer having the pull, and it makes sense that nobody cares about Rasuden anymore, considering how absolutely garboni they are. Numbers for FES was 50 something, so clearly the interest must not have been there. Another L for Fusions, yeah. I will say, to an extent, I do agree with this, only because I feel like we've had enough Fusion figures at this point, and there's plenty of good ones for people to get, that you shouldn't be worried about new figures, right? And of all the fusions in these recent months, Super Vegito, Vegito, and Gogeta Blue, it was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that dropped the least in numbers. Although its number was still not that high, still interesting, perhaps carried by the fighter's hype. Yeah, Cody definitely made a good comment that obviously, since this guy came out around the same time that the Int Gogeta, with the literal same pose as this figure, came out, probably carried by that. Here's a high quality pick of the boy Grandista 2D Vegeta outside of the box. I've actually seen the original figure of this in person at a local box lunch, and this figure is fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't have any room for it, and I also have the regular Grandista Nero base form Vegeta, so definitely a solid figure, though, if you are down to pick it up. And you know your boy loves some manga dimensions, so... Alright, early pre-sales for September indicates that BF Goku is more popular than FES Super Saiyan 4. That is really interesting. I knew people wouldn't care for Super Saiyan 4 so much, but didn't realize that little. Yamcha's doing the best, by the way. Let's go. Yeah. That, and like, again, I do agree with this statement, right? Even though he is generic, he is still a decent-looking Goku figure. Alrighty. More high-quality pictures of my boy. Yeah, I mean, again, wow, that is a super high-quality picture. Holy cow. Again, I think... Wait, I just realized, is he not, like, attached to the body there? That didn't click in my head until I saw the 3 pictures of the heads in the row. I do still think that $100 for these figures is pretty crazy. But I mean, the fact that SH Figuarts is selling for $80 and this is selling for $100, I guess, doesn't really surprise me too much. While 18 and Bulma doing well, great as it is, they are 2 of the most popular female characters, so Real Test was launched, and she comfortably beat Fusions, Goku, etc. Female characters literally carrying the back of Dragon Ball figures on their back, and I'm all for it, bro. Yeah, literally, bro. I said, you love to see it, bro. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. This is just a bootleg figure of the Rasuda and Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. Not only do his eyes look goofy, but yeah, apparently that's Piccolo. I don't know about all that, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Alrighty, we also have here the August Wafer Capsule Figure 06. No price increase. The model on these keeps getting better. So obviously, this is what we were talking about before with the Vegitos, the Kaioken Goku, and the Chi-Chi. And this looks really, really cool. Unfortunately, the image is a little bit stinky quality. Of course, we'll get a higher quality one a little bit later on. But the sculpting on these looks really, really good. And I'm actually really excited to get that Chi-Chi figure because I do actually really like this line despite not owning too much of it. And as you can see, Baggy also was just talking about how since the beginning of the wafer sticker figures, they've definitely come a long way in terms of the sculpting. Here is also a more high quality scan a little bit. Hard to see kind of the details, unfortunately, because obviously these pieces of text are sort of blocking it. But it is also something else nice to note here that the full scan has confirmed that they're going to be staying at 300 yen, which is awesome to see because obviously since these are minifigures, they definitely shouldn't be anything more than $5. I mean, the oh my gosh, the name of the line just literally escaped my head. Regardless, some Dragon Ball minifigures can be like $10, which is ridiculous in my opinion. So thankfully they're keeping the price pretty good, if I do say so myself, on these. Excited to get that Chi-Chi though, for sure, because we have like no Chi-Chi figures. Yeah, thank goodness Super Saiyan God here isn't the matter for Morris. Yeah, all of these look pretty decent, I will say. I think the only one that looks a little bit off to me is Blue Goku. Super Saiyan Goku's arm maybe looks a little bit too big, and maybe UI Goku looks a little bit goofy, but I think I've seen this before. Nonetheless, though, I mean, base form Goku and God Goku definitely look the best out of all of them, which I'm sure Baggy is over the moon about. Yeah, so this was also something interesting to see. A biggest problem with these recent illustration commercialization is the fact that we've had commercialization of them before. It feels like a waste when we could have something new or less boring, you know? Solid, or SZS line has the most potential. Hopefully, the future choices are good. Yeah. So basically, what Baggy's saying here is that we've actually had the same figure basically released before. This is the new figure, right? This is the Zenkai line. I forget what the full name of it is. We talked about it in the last one, though. But this is actually a giant figure. This guy's as big as, like, Grandista figures. And this was released a couple years ago. I actually remember seeing that figure in person as well. Not this color, but the same figure. And it's a cool figure. I mean, obviously, again, like Baggy said, based off of this piece of art. But hopefully, if they are going to continue on this trend of making it based off of pieces of iconic Dragon Ball art, then they're going to pick some more unique choices. So let's definitely hope so. Also, I actually never noticed, or did I point that out in the last video? It kind of looks a little bit weird going in there, but I guess that is just actually his arm. And obviously, he's talking about in relation to this Goku as well. The WCF got re-released overseas late 2019, so I'm counting that as recent. That's fair. That's definitely fair. Now, we have new March prize figures, including leftover February GX Materia Frieza, and Dokkan Vegeta now releasing for Australia, which is very exciting because obviously more places are getting these figures. Not sure if it includes FES 12 or not since it released late, so March may be included with the April stuff. By the way, I did want to note real quick about the Dokkan Vegeta. I actually, unfortunately, did get an email from Blow It Outta Here that my order did end up getting canceled for Vegeta, which was very likely to happen. So definitely check your email to see if your order got canceled to look for another place to buy the figure, because I definitely know that that is a figure that I'm going to need to get ASAP. Now pre-orders are starting to open up worldwide. Reminder that the September Fes14 Gogeta will have a new head sculpt. For the 5 people that are probably interested in this, I would hold off until we see the new head sculpt. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Oh, what does Jaku say here? Unless they show us the new head soon, I probably won't pre-order it. Yeah. All right, here are the high quality images again. I'm not going to go through them too like crazily because we've already seen them a couple of times. But the BSS Blue Gi Quinto Un available now for Asia. This is actually a really cool figure. I have the orange gi version of this guy. Funny enough, I kind of want to get the blue one because I do like the blue color. I think a little bit better than the orange one. I bought it before I actually watched Dragon Ball, and now that I've seen Dragon Ball, I'm like, man, I really like the blue outfit. I like them both a lot, but I think I prefer it just a tiny bit more. Still waiting on the Final Flash Vegeta, since that was the other BSS for March. So this is actually a really good figure too. I bought the original one and have actually done a review on it. Alright, so this was also very, very exciting to see, and I will say, for a base form Goku figure, this is actually really, really good looking. As you can see here, we have the Fes14 Goku, and it looks really, really good. This is actually a fantastic looking Goku figure, and I know for a while we have actually been wanting a prize figure of this size, of this pose for Goku, considering a lot of other figures have got it. We've gotten many figures of it. Funny enough, Funko Pops have also gotten this. So it's really cool to see that not only is this a figure that people have kind of wanted as like a, you know, modern figure of this size, but it actually looks really, really good. Thanks to the homie Omacha Hedchala as well for the pics. Of course, he's taking different pictures of this where they're actually displaying this and, you know, wherever they display it. Also, hopefully that means that we're going to get this pose for Vegeta too, because we don't actually have a figure that is meant to match up with Goku for that. I do assume that what will probably happen with that is that I believe a couple of videos ago we talked about the FES Vegeta line that is going to be coming up, so I assume that would probably be a shoe-in for that line. He's also noting some other figures that obviously had the same pose, but yeah, definitely going to be excited to pick that one up. I don't even think originally I was going to get this, but now that I've seen how good it turned out, I was like, whoa! Girl, I might have to pick that one up, low-key, bro. A reminder that the May was the first month we stopped getting bases on production images, so another look to look for in these final images. And as you can see here, the base doesn't look too big, actually. I mean, too big considering the size of the figure and like the way that it's posed, I will say, because it's a big base, but it's definitely not like ridiculous, I think, for the size and pose of the figure. Only complaint is keeping the blue shirt doesn't wrap around the entire neck. Interesting. I'll have to... Oh, I see. It's only on the front here. It's like cut there, and it doesn't actually go around his whole head. That is interesting. I actually didn't even notice that at all. That's definitely a good call. Yeah, definitely going to pick this guy up and do a review on that guy. These photos literally convinced me. Definitely excited to get that then. That'll be pretty cool, and especially if we get a Vegeta that matches up. Honestly, slightly more excited for this than the Super Saiyan FES, so I kind of understand why this has been pre-selling better in the West. This was also something very, very cool that we got to see. This is from the Gigantic Series line, and this is obviously a Golden Frieza, of course, doing the Death Beam. It looks cool. I will say the tail does look like it's almost made from a different material. If you are unfamiliar with the Gigantic Series, the Gigantic Series was originally the line that was made off of soft vinyl. And then recently-ish, they started to change it to PVC and like higher quality, because unfortunately vinyl like isn't as quality of a material, at least in my opinion anyway. Not that I typically mind it because it looks good, but I think just like the way that it's made, you know what I mean. It looks good though. I mean, his face does look a little bit goofy, but I think that it works for Frieza. At least in my opinion, this angle maybe looks a little bit weird, but like this angle looks pretty good. You can let me know in the comments what you think about it. But personally, I think that looks pretty good. The only thing that I actually see that I would be a little bit worried about for this figure, considering it is a gigantic series figure, is the feet. If we take a look at the feet here, let's go back to that side angle. The feet do look a little bit unbalanced. He's interestingly balancing funny enough on the back foot and on the like 3 toes of the front foot. So very interesting choice. I do like the pose, but I will be interested to see some actual pictures of this guy in person. I have actually not collected a single figure of this line just because, of course, well, as you can see by the price, they are pretty pricey. And the Gigantic Series line has kind of always been that price. Makes sense, I suppose, considering it's just like not theming, but like it's consistent, right? This isn't like news that this line is a really expensive line. Probably the only one that I've ever seen that like really knocks it out of the park for me is UI Goku, so I would like to get that guy eventually. But this definitely isn't a bad Gigantic Series figure, if I do say so myself. This guy also does note it's around 130 is like the conversion of this. So yeah, 38 centimeters, you can obviously convert that into your own measurement there. But it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Apparently, a final Retsuden Chapter 7 is planned, probably base Trunks reuse and a third Gogeta reuse. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this will be the actual end of the Retsuden line. Let's hope and pray. As you can see here, this is also a brand new figure set that we are going to be getting. This is the August Namco Goku. So they have actually been doing these for a little while. Very interesting that they decided to pick Goku this time. I believe technically the original, I don't know if it was the original, but like at least modern original, I guess they'll consider it, is the Namco Gogeta, which is still one of my favorite Gogeta figures to this day. And funny enough, the first Gogeta Blue figure that not only came out, but I also reviewed on my channel. Since then, they've done a couple of Vegitos, they've done a couple more Gogetas, and it looks like they are going to be doing Goku now. In all honesty, this is not a bad figure, if I do say so myself. Again, I think we're just like kind of sick of base form and Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan Gokus. Even though this is a cool pose, right? And I think that the face sculpts and the gi, for the most part, do look pretty good. It's just another Goku, you know? HQ, look at Goku and the nose. The nose. Interesting. I guess it is pretty pointy. Wow. Yeah, why is it so raised? That is definitely a little bit weird. Interesting, too. Unfortunately, the base Goku has a lack of softness. Instead, it's just sharp Super Saiyan eyes. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But Baggy also notes here, these look pretty decent, and Goku with the manga color gi. Oh, actually, that is a pretty cool thing. I didn't even really think about that the color was the manga color. Yeah, we don't get that too often. At least the manga color one is the Super Saiyan Blue one, because obviously it's more anime accurate for the base form one. And I guess a little bit closer. It's kind of weird. It's like this is the darker one, and then this is the middle, and then this is the lighter one. I mean, yeah, definitely not a bad looking figure. Again, just very basic. I definitely would not goof on anybody for getting that for sure. August for overseas info has come and gone, so probably get these as a late listing like the Namco Gogeta 2. Let's see. Oh, so we'll take a look at that in a couple of seconds here. Actually, well, I guess we might as well just look at it now since we're looking at the comment on it. Let's see. So, August, oh no, that's the one that we just looked at. My bad. I meant to click on this tweet. Nobody cares about Gogeta Blue figures anymore. Chi-Chi will absolutely do better in December. Oh, he was just asking about a release of that. So here, as you can see, we have ahead of prize fair. We get the calendar update for the rest of the year. No new lines. Thank God. But the clear wash is a total lame Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. We'll have to see that in a second. Grandista Gohan, hopefully M9 or Ultimate. Yeah, that is going to be very exciting. And GX Materia is OG DB branding. That is going to be interesting to see. And as well as you can see, also Retsuden finally lays to rest in November. Also treat brandings as tentative. The calendar often differentiates this like BF turning into Z, right? So like he's saying here that basically this didn't have a Z moniker before, but now it does. So let's take an actual look at this. As you can see here, Clear Rise is going to be a Gogeta. I'm sorry, a Vegeta blue, which I mean I guess is appropriate considering they did the you know, revival of F Goku in that style. So I guess they have to do a Vegeta in that one as well to fit through. I wonder if that means that the third one is going to be Frieza. I don't know how they would do Clear Rise for that, considering the whole gimmick is the clear hair like the Goku we saw before. So that'll be interesting to see how that line ends up going forward in the future. Funny enough, actually, the Gigantic Series Frieza is coming out at a good time considering that this just got announced. We're also getting another Dragon Ball History box, which if you remember was the Goku on that little stand pushing forward the energy, I guess. Nonetheless, though, I hope that that line actually improves because it has some potential, but at the moment it's kind of eh. And, as you can see, Grandista Resolution of Soldiers Sun Gohan 2. I'm really excited for that one, actually. If you guys remember, the technical first Grandista Gohan was the Super Saiyan 1 and 2 one with the interchangeable head sculpt. Obviously, before it was Grandista and it was just Resolution of Soldiers, there was a couple of Gohans there. But hopefully, it ends up being Ultimate Gohan or Movie 9 Gohan, obviously that being the BoJack movie. I will be like really surprised if they do anything else, to be honest, because I don't know what other form of Gohan would be marketable enough to warrant making another one of that. So we'll have to see what ends up becoming of that. That, by the way, just so you can be clear, is the October schedule. For November, as you can see, we're also getting the Retsuden Timeless Parents and Children as the final Retsuden figure. So this could be a lot of different things. At the moment, as you can see, we don't really know, but it's definitely going to be a father-son type of deal. So it'll be interesting to see. Or, I mean, bro, if they made a Retsuden figure of a mom and son, that'd also be pretty dope. Bulma or Chi-Chi in there. Hopefully they don't actually mess it up. As you can see, though, obviously another FES, which is going to be interesting to see what that ends up being. We also have the Clear Rise Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegito. So that is actually going to be the third figure in the Clear Rise line. If that figure ends up being pretty good, your boy might pick up that one because there is no Grandista Vegito to be seen yet. And with the Clear Rise line, that could maybe be my final or my first break into the line because the Revival of F outfits aren't necessarily my favorite, despite those figures still looking pretty good. So hopefully that ends up being good. It is kind of funny that they're using Revival of F, Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, and then going into Vegito. I know it's not necessarily meant to like pair together, but still kind of weird. And as you can see here, we also have the GX Materia Sun Goku Ii. So, of course, this is what Baggy was kind of talking about, that it seems like it's going to be Dragon Ball and not Dragon Ball Z. But again, like we mentioned, it might be because they didn't mention Z with the Burning Fighters before. And for December, we are going to be getting a Clear Rise Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta. Oh boy, more fusions. Very, very interesting that they're still pushing the fusions. I'm going to be very interested to see how that guy turns out as well. Of course, this is going to be a Broly movie one, considering that it's Super Saiyan Blue. We'll also be getting the Zenkai Solid 2. I forgot the technical name of it is the Super Zenkai Solid. So hopefully we get a better piece of art this time in reference to that. That's not a figure that we actually have already. Maximatic Vegeta 2 will also be interested to see what that... I believe as well before, I think I said that there was a Vegeta FES that was coming, but I think I was confusing that with this. And then as you can see here, we're also getting a Cupid Socket Chi-Chi. So that'll be interesting to see how that figure turns out. I'm not the biggest fan of this line, but regardless, I'm glad that the female Dragon Ball figures are doing well, especially in a little bit of a different art style that people may not necessarily usually go for. Very good. May Taito Game Station numbers, Launch 28, the WCF 21, Solid Chad Works 15, Retsuden 13, and FES 11. Or FES 11 rather. Checked a One Piece figures and it got 75. DB is falling so hard. All this over commercialization of Goku's stupid fusions is literally killing Dragon Ball. Yeah, very unfortunate to see. High quality pics of next Saturday's wafer stickers. Wow, these are super high quality. Holy cow. These are really good though. Yeah, I really, really like these. I would love to be able to get a box of these if I could. Even GT Go 10 is there. That's awesome. Yeah, really, really cool. I'll also have to see if the playset I get V-Jump ends up carrying these at all, because sometimes they do carry wafer stickers, but not all the time. Yeah, hopefully we'll find out. We're going to find out in 3 weeks from April 30th what that ends up being. If Prize Fair is on in Tokyo, then we'll get to see everything on May 19th. If not, then October production images should drop exactly 3 weeks from April 30th. Ooh, that is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, that's a nice piece of art. All right, now the Banpresto World Figure Coliseum Todoroki is scheduled for December. That all but confirms Gogeta will release in October. These Banpresto World Figure Coliseums are finally going to be over. Never do this with Super Master Shark's piece nonsense again. Just give us a regular one. Yeah, as much as we got literally the best Dragon Ball figure ever made, that being the End of Z Goku. These shenanigans with this was absolutely insane, considering that this figure Coliseum was 2 years ago, and we not only got 4 figures out of it, and as opposed to like the normal, like I don't know, like 7 or 10 or whatever it usually is. Obviously, them being bigger and more expensive is kind of like, eh. Alrighty, we keep on keeping on it. It does look like that the prize fair is confirmed for the 25th, so that is very exciting to see from prizefair.com. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for the information. I appreciate you. So we'll have to see if that actually ends up coming to fruition. Obviously, because of everything going on in the world, a lot of these events have been canceled, so hopefully that ends up staying as, happening. Barring any late listings, we're going to have only 3 new Wcf sets in 2021. So more reason to pick up some of these, especially the EC set and the Universe 6 characters. Yeah, definitely wouldn't mind getting Hit and Kaba. Again, we will actually see these in a minute here, because we do have some finals of those coming up still. Oh, these are the My Hero acrylic stands. Pretty cool to see. All right. Also, apparently, this is a very interesting re-release to happen, considering that this guy has already been re-released, and he's a great figure. I own this Goku. I use it for a lot of my videos in terms of comparisons for SH Figure Arts. I love this figure. I think it's a really great representation of Goku. It's like I don't want to say a perfect SH Figure Arts figure, because everything could be improved on in terms of figure, but it's a really great figure, and they are like all over the place at stores. Like, I see this guy in Kaioken Goku in local Targets and Walmarts and stuff like that all the time. So if they're releasing this guy again, his price is going to shoot way down. And if you're any type of Dragon Ball fan, would recommend getting this guy in a heartbeat. I've also done a video on the channel on him. If you go to the unboxing playlist, you can go find it. Okay, so we have some more production images of some higher quality images of the Versus 17 figures. The eyebrows on Goten. Goku looks fine. Keep in mind, these are minifigures. Gohan looks good. Goten's eyes look really big. And Broly just looks goofy in that pose. And we've seen this image a couple of times by now. It'll be interesting to see what the finals look like for that too. With Bulma 18 and launch significantly outperforming the likes of Goku, Gogeta, and Vegito, hopefully they're planning proper figures for Caulifla, Kale, and Kefla for 2022. Absolutely no way these will do any worse than the recent numbers for Goku and the Fusions. Fes14 has one of the lowest numbers for a big release. Less than 20 stores in Tokyo placed orders, whereas 18 Glitter and Glams had the 80 number to their name. I'm really hoping that this is the case. Obviously, it is almost criminal that we have not gotten a figure of any of these in a standard prize figure size, especially Kefla, considering how much people really like Kefla. And like, I hate to say it, despite the fact that they're popular, I'm going to use the S word, bro. Simps. People would be all over this. And I'm not even like, about these characters in that way by any stretch of the imagination, by the imagination. But I want it. I need figures of them, bro. Like, make more Universe 6 figures, please. Why haven't you done it yet? I don't understand, Bandai. Please, bro. Please let this be an omen. No. Like this. Yeah, please. I'm going to retweet it, actually, because I need the world to see that tweet. Oh, wow, we already have IRL picks. I actually didn't even get to see these yet. Okay, all right. I'm actually pretty excited about this. Imagination Works 2021 Vegeta IRL picks. Obviously, this is behind a glass cabinet and not, like, from a human being owning the fit. Wait, well, I mean, a human being. You know what I mean. Here he is in person. Very interesting. The dark blue is really, really dark. I did not expect it to be that dark blue. I mean, I don't dislike it necessarily, but definitely very, very dark. I mean, I like how the final figure looks, if I do say so myself. The head sculpt is definitely accurate to those original images that we saw. So far, I am very, very much liking the look of this figure. Again, seeing these images almost makes me want like a Goku 2.0 already. I do want to take a look at that image specifically because this is interesting. It looks like the fabric is on the arms and on the legs, but it looks like that there is plastic for his collarbone. It looks like this is painted on for the neck. It also looks like spray paint material for the armor. It looks like very like bumpy. Unless the armor is fuzzy, which really wouldn't make sense, but that is quite interesting. Also, that's like a really big joint for the foot. It just like caught me off guard how big that looked. I'm glad that he doesn't look bad in these actual images. I mean, again, ooh, that is a very striking image. That's cool. I really, really like that one. Again, I mean, even though this figure looks really, really great, and unfortunately they only showed it in the base form one next to Goku here. Yeah, you can see, bro, I think anyone could tell you that the Vegeta looks a lot better than this. If I were to take a wild guess for anybody who is looking at these two figures for the first time. Like, look at this. Like, the face looks cool, but those legs are disgusting. And, like, the crotch area as well just looks so terrible. Vegeta is just miles better in every way. I'm glad that he looks that good. Oh, I commented on this already. I actually don't remember that. And here, unfortunately, going from a big up to a big down, we do have some good here and some bad. BOS WCF Finals, Goku and Vegeta turned out pretty bad. LOL. Black has the ring, though, that was missing in the production images. So, yeah, Goku doesn't look that good. Kefla doesn't really look that good. Vegeta's face is contorted. Topo looks good, though. I mean, that's something. I guess it's maybe just because he's more of like a monster than a human shape. I mean, he's not a monster, but, you know, like he's like an alien or whatever. Trunks looks pretty good. His hair just looks kind of like flat. Like, I feel like it should be spiked up rather than like down. And Black looks like he's like, I don't know, running late to the grocery store. The face sculpt doesn't really look how it did, which was a little bit more menacing here, but cool to see that at least he did end up getting the ring, as you can see there. Yeah, kind of unfortunate to see how these turned out, though. I mean, I would probably consider getting Topo, but that would be about it. Kefla looks so goofy, though. So goofy, bro. What a goobster. All right. Well, as you can see here, interestingly enough, the FES Vegeta Blue Finals colors not as muted as the production image, so that is a relief. Yeah, like he was interested anyway. Hair coloring admittedly does look pretty good in the final. I still think that the face looks very, very weird, especially considering the original face. I mean, already it looks kind of like an odd expression. But yeah, I definitely like the hair and the overall coloring on the figure, if anything. Alrighty, this was just everything that Baggy got in this month here. So apparently Denmark will be getting the July Kuji Ichiban show, huh? I don't know if I have any Danish followers. Huh. So if so, it means currently US and Denmark are currently getting the Ichiban show. Denmark. Huh. What a very interesting choice. According to Madman's website, Super Master Stars Piece 2D Goku, released in Australia May 14th, already has begun releasing in Asia and some parts of Europe. Very, very cool. Oh, that is a pretty cool piece too, yeah. Alright, so as you can see here, my man is just taking a couple of pictures of the new FES Goku compared to the old, oh my gosh, I forget the technical name of this guy. Master Lease of Evolving, but I don't remember the name of the Kuji that this guy's from. I have also done a review of this guy on my channel before. But yeah, these guys do look pretty cool if I do say so myself. Alright, so we actually have some more comparisons here, as you can see with this image, comparing the two in terms of the shading and the colors. Yeah, definitely a lot more of a Saiyan in the final image. The colors are very, very more bright, and I actually do like the minimal shading that they did throughout the figure. The back actually looks pretty cool. This almost reminds me of the color scheme of the, oh my gosh, What is the Kuji called? I don't remember, but it's the one that everybody's favorite base form Gogeta and the UI Goku looking backwards Kuji. It looks like the Vegito from that set. I think it's the ES Kuji, if I'm remembering. I think if you know what I'm talking about, you'll probably remember. Huh. So this is interesting. We already saw these, but survey is live. Vote for under-commercialized characters for a future lineup. Oh, so you can vote for what characters that you would like to see in an upcoming... Huh, that is actually pretty cool. I'm not going to do this on camera because obviously we're already running a little bit long in terms of the news. I mean, it's in Japanese, so unfortunately I can't do it. But definitely I will leave that in the description if you're interested. May Kuji store search is preparing, so for those who are interested in Purunga, the more participating stores, the better. Yeah, hopefully I'm able to get that Purunga figure. I would absolutely love to own that guy, especially since I believe in Japan he comes with Dende, and here in the States, Dende is by himself for 35 bucks. So, yeah, definitely very excited to hopefully try and get that guy. Obviously... if more stores are getting them, that's only a good thing. I need more water, bro. I'm sure you can hear me swallowing dry. Calendar says the second wafer set of the 3.0 version is scheduled for August, but August candy info has come and gone, giving us often the calendar is full of mistakes, probably for September, so I think that would make sense. There's surprisingly been mild interest in the BF Goku. No more BF rather scheduled for this year. So honestly, if someone is wanting to recreate the illustration, I wouldn't pre-order and wait until next year when they're all out. And yes, definitely Goku isn't going to be waiting to fly off the shelf for sure. So I think it's definitely solid weight. Better quality final production images for this month. Solid Edgeworks Goku. Huh. I mean, yeah, looks good. Most of what we've seen so far, though. So far, a few folks are interested. 23 centimeters is a pretty good size. I'll have to see how that is compared to Grandista. I just wish the base Goku was smirking instead. Yeah, that would be pretty cool instead of Angry Goku. I am interested in this figure, but the problem is, like, I just can't justify getting another big figure of a base form Goku when I have the Grandista one already. Nonetheless, though, as you can see, my boy, I had the yellow masterized Namco, but I prefer the original coloring on the FES better. Also, hardly surprising, but hardly any, or perhaps surprisingly rather, sorry, hardly any QC issues at all, which is awesome. Just some minor issues with the eyeliner. Without a doubt, 100% recommend this figure. Yeah, we've seen some in-person pictures, but obviously this is from the boy Baggy himself. And yeah, the figure looks fantastic. I'm definitely excited to get my copy when it comes in. For those worried about Grandista Gohan potentially having hollow legs, guess we'll see how the July Grandista Tanjiro ends up. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully it's good. Grandista Nero Omen is still 30 bucks on Amazon US. 2 years later, this would have been a hot commodity, but times are changing, yeah. I would honestly really like to get this one. Wow, I got mine 12 USD brand new. I'm going to have to hit that guy up. I don't know if he means the original or this one, but if he does mean this one, then definitely going to have to pick that up. But as you can see here, yeah, here's a direct comparison between the two. But 30 bucks definitely isn't as bad as the original 50 that we were seeing for this guy, which is absolutely stupid. Definitely not worth it. And Grandista Gohan re-release, doing surprisingly well in pre-orders. I suppose there are always new collectors. When I stop at the end of this year, surely there will be someone that will start next year, the new circle of collecting. Yeah, for sure. And that actually does bring this episode of Dragon Ball figure news to a close. I know this was definitely a very long episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Lots of cool stuff coming out. Unfortunately, we do have some stinky stuff, but we do have some great stuff too, like the Solid Edgeworks Vegeta, as well as the GX Materia Yamcha. Definitely let me know what you think of the Solid Edgeworks. I just called this that. I'm sorry. The Imagination Works. Sorry, they both have works in their name. That's what got me tripped up. Definitely let me know what you think of these, though. I definitely think the Vegeta, in any stretch of the imagination, despite the price and everything else around these type of figures, is way better than the Goku. Definitely let me know if you're interested in picking this up, though. I might shell out the money to pick this guy up. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, because I do really like this figure. It has a lot of charm. The Goku didn't shout that for me at all, and this guy 100% is. So definitely let me know what your favorite figure was from this video, though, in the description. I always say description, but the comment section below. With that, though, I will catch you in the next figure news video. Hopefully, we do see the prize fair come to fruition so we can see all those figures coming up for the rest of the year. And I'll catch you in the next one. Dokkan Sets out. Peace.